After breaking up with Xiao Yichen, Xing got drunk and clung to Han Ting all night long. After sobering up, she felt extremely embarrassed. Xing's dignity was completely destroyed after a night of drinking that made her feel embarrassed when facing Han Ting. As for Han Ting, he was always worried about Xing's mood. In the business world, Han Ting could be said to be a sly, experienced fox, but in terms of love, he was a rookie. After a few days of mental shock due to the breakup, Xing neglected his work, making Han Ting even more worried. He asked his assistant, "Have you ever been broken-hearted? How long did it take to get over it?" Making Han Ting's assistant go crazy from the question. A few days later, Xing finally came to find Han Ting. It was obvious that Han Ting was very worried about Xing, but he still deliberately mocked her, saying, "I thought you didn't need Xing Chen anymore." It was obvious that Han Ting was worried that Xing would suffer from a broken heart and let herself decline, affecting her health, but he didn't dare to express his concern himself. He even arrogantly set conditions, forcing Xing to quickly adjust her state. Han Ting required Xing's weight to not be below 45 kilograms, otherwise, he would not approve the next investment for Xing's company. Xing was bewildered. Do investors even manage things like daily life and weight? Han Ting replied arrogantly, "Do entrepreneurs want to manage investors?" Xing was speechless. Right now, for a small startup company like Xing Chen, investors are the gods. Whatever God says, it is. Facing Xing's indifferent attitude, Han Ting didn't know if she had gotten over her broken heart. Han Ting was truly the type of person who had a heart but no mouth, obviously wanting to care for others, but always finding excuses to hide her concern. In order to care for Xing, Han Ting made up a story about working overtime on the weekend. On the surface, he acted like an overbearing investor and even forced her to work overtime on the weekend, but in fact, that was just a shield for Han Ting to hide his gentleness. He personally went into the kitchen to cook food, hoping that Xing would be in a better mood. He also stewed soup to help her regain her health. When Han Ting brought the food to Xing's office, she happened to see Xing's mother coming to visit her daughter. Xing was not in the office. Her mother was struggling to open the door when Han Ting walked in. As soon as she saw Han Ting, she greeted him and scolded the investor for making Xing work overtime on the weekend. Han Ting was carrying food and fruit in his hands, so Xing's mother misunderstood him as Suzy Zhou. She didn't pay attention to her words. After entering, Han Ting went to wash the fruit, but unfortunately, the faucet in Xing's old office was broken. Water splashed everywhere, making Han Ting completely soaked. Seeing this, Mother Ji immediately offered to give Han Ting another shirt to change into, but feeling embarrassed, she gave Han Ting Xing's cute pink shirt. Han Ting reluctantly accepted. Xing returned and saw Han Ting fixing the faucet, wearing a bright pink wool coat. Han Ting explained that the broken water pipe had just been repaired. Xing's mother then realized that the person she had just given her daughter's shirt to was not Suzy Zhou, but Director Han of Dongyang Group. Xing's mother came to visit and brought food, so the three of them ate together. Xing's mother enthusiastically served food to Han Ting. While eating, the three of them talked. Han Ting did not dare to admit that the food she brought was made by herself, so she made excuses that she bought it from outside. Xing's mother heard that it was outside food, so she advised Xing to eat more of her mother's cooking, because she was worried that outside food was not safe. Xing's mother heard that it was outside food, so she advised Xing to eat more of her mother's cooking, because she was worried that outside food was not safe. Seeing the way Han Ting looked at Xing's mother immediately knew that this boy had feelings for her daughter. The way Han Ting cared for Xing made her mother very pleased. She really liked Han Ting, cleverly invited Han Ting to come to her house for dinner next time, and even showed Han Ting a picture of Xing when he was young. The atmosphere between the three of them was extremely happy. Xing's mother was even so thoughtful that she hand-washed Han Ting's custom-made suit, causing it to become wrinkled. However, with Han Ting's conditions, it would probably be fine if her mother-in-law ruined 10 of them. After Han Ting brought Xing's mother back, he wanted to help the two of them move their belongings into the house. Xing didn't want to bother Han Ting, so he refused. But her mother seemed to really like the son-in-law, so she took the opportunity to intentionally create a private space for the two of them to be together, quickly went upstairs and opened the door, so that Xing wouldn't have a chance to protest. When it was time for Han Ting to return, he seemed to like Xing's shirt and wore it without taking it off. He also said that he would return it to her after washing it. It seemed that Han Ting had succeeded. Soon, Xing would completely escape the pain of a broken heart and start a new relationship.